Y'all, I'm really like shook to the core. I'm gonna get to this because I don't have long. I'm on my lunch break, but I really cannot believe that this girl is like full sending what she said. If you don't know what I'm talking about, God, I can't even take myself serious with this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is this girl on TikTok who basically has been having people send her donations. So she claims she doesn't ask for money, but she does. She fully does. Like, her Cash App is linked in everything that she does, like asking for donations for tires, for brakes, for brake pads, saying that she needs to collect $3,000 for moving costs, all this, that, and the third. And essentially what happened is she went on, what is this guy doing behind my car right now? Okay. She basically went on like a little rant and said somebody had sent her like $183. And essentially what she said is that it was crumbs. I don't know what world we're living in when you help someone and they then go on their TikTok and at you and say, this is literally crumbs. What am I supposed to do with crumbs? And now she's went on a full 3-day spree of uploading videos talking about how basically standing her ground, and all kinds of huge creators who have helped this girl, literally have sent this girl money, have made duets to her being like, I wish I would have never sent you the money. Like, she ended up going to the beach. Like, all kinds of really shady shit has come out. And instead of being like, you know what, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that, that was really fucked up. Instead, she's saying that middle class people, you and I would say a bigger part of the population would be considered middle class anymore. Because, I mean, you really have to be in entertainment, honestly, to be anything more than that. I told you guys a few months ago, a literal doctor inside of the hospital I work in was talking about how he has to work 2 jobs. Like, that's fucking scary when a man who makes $100,000 a year is having to work 2 jobs. But she was saying how everyday people who work their asses off, we are the bad people. We're the bad ones because we hoard money. No, we save money. If we're lucky to. If we're lucky, we scrounge up what we can and save it. And listen, I've been there when I've not had shit to my name. When I've really been, I think he's lost his car, is what I think is going on. When I've really been struggling, but I put myself there. You know what I'm saying? I chose to do drugs, and therefore I lost everything I had to my name. That was a decision that I made as a grown-ass adult. And then when I got my shit together, I then got a job, and I've been working my ass off ever since. And a lot of times it is paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, that's just the life that I live. And when we're lucky, we save up what we can. And if I have it with me to give to someone, I always do. Literally on my work today, I was going through hysterics. If you caught my live earlier, I deleted it because my attorney suggested I do so, but I was going through it today, really emotional, and I got off the exit to go to my job, and the same guy who's been sitting at our exit since literally last Wednesday was sitting there still today. It's pouring rain in Tennessee, if you can't tell by my hair. Like, it's pouring rain and hot as hell. It's 93 degrees and pouring rain. I gave him what cash I had on me. Not everybody who you're saying hoard money can afford to send you $1,000. She even made a video saying that if you had $100,000 or $200,000 is what she said, in your savings account, which I don't know anybody who has 200 grand just saved somewhere. That's for sure not middle class. If you've got 200 racks saved up, there's no way that's middle class. Everybody I know is middle class, and I mean, you might have 10 grand saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, her video just didn't make sense, because regular, everyday working class people do not have 200 racks saved up in their account. Like, we just don't. I don't know what the fuck. Like, that just right there just goes to show that she's never kept a job and paid her own bills. That's how you know when somebody really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because if you are a working class person, you go to work every day, you work your ass off, you ain't ever got no 200 grand just sitting around in your savings account. I'm sorry, but who are you? Like, it blew me. So, but she comes up with this analogy, and she's like, just think for a minute that you have 200 grand saved up in your account, and you're walking down Skid Row. If you don't know what Skid Row is, it's in Los Angeles, California, and it is a whole fucking street filled with homeless people who live in tents. Tennessee has Tent City, which is in Nashville, which is filled with tents, and the governor of Nashville, Tennessee, actually put little houses that they can go in, like they have to graduate a program, then they can go in these little houses, and then eventually they can get an apartment that is government, assisted, but they have to have jobs, and they have to complete this program. That's what they did in Nashville. Knoxville has something similar. But anyways, she says, you've got 200 grand in your savings account. You go to Skid Row and you offer someone 2 grand. You give someone $2,000. And that person turns around and says, well, instead of giving me 2,000, how about you give me 20,000? That way I can get me a place and pay for it for the year, and I can start college and really get myself together in society. I have never in my life given someone, and this is the thing, right? This is when you really get to see someone's true colors, and you really get to see the ungratefulness come out in them, and just the pure audacity. Because I've never had someone who's living on the street that I've helped in any way, whether that be $100, whether that be what me and Chris do every Christmas and go give them a pretty decent size amount of money. I've never had anyone say, well, how about you give me 20 grand so I can go to school, so I can pay for housing for a year. I would love to be able to do that. A lot of people would love to be able to walk up to someone and bless them in that way. The unfortunate thing is most of us can't even bless our own damn selves in that way. We work all year to make maybe double or triple that. And we work our asses off all year to make that happen. But it's not like we have that sitting around, you know what I'm saying? Like, her analogy just doesn't make any sense. She says that she's speaking to working class, middle class America. Honey, have you ever been a part of working class, middle class America? Because I know a lot of people. I even have conversations with subscribers of mine who are working class, middle class America. And I don't know anyone who has 200 grand sitting in their savings account. But her analogy goes on and says, but instead you give them the 2 grand and then they're back into the same situation within a couple of weeks. Let me share a story with you. And I really hope that she sees this. I really do. Because I know that you are lying. I want to put that first. I know that you're lying, Gabby. And the reason that I know you're lying is I've been there. Okay? I've been there. I've been in the situation that you're in. And I've worked. I've been in both sides of the yard here. And I know you're lying because there's no way that you have worked your ass off every single day at one point or another, and you genuinely believe that all of us have 200K sitting in our savings. There's no way that you really believe this. She claims that she's been working class before. Well, what the fuck then? What happened if you had 200K sitting around? But I'm going to share a little story with you. 6 years and a few months ago, I was still using. I had approached my mother on Easter Sunday to get sober, and the very night that I asked her, she agreed to let me get sober. I went to her house and I detoxed. It took me almost 3 months to feel okay again. I felt like shit for literally over 60 days. I think in my actual journal, it was like 64 days that I felt miserably. Fast forward to me getting sober, my stepdad gave me a proposition. He gave me X amount of money, which was a little over $2,000. I think it was $2,200. And with that, I had to get a place. I had to get a car, basically get on my feet, get me some groceries to get started. Okay. Fast forward to today. I put that $2,200 to use, got me a place, bought me a little Toyota Camry that had well over 400,000 miles. I think I had 472,000 miles on it, but the guy was selling it for $900 and I bought it. I've worked my ass off every single day, along with my fiance Chris, who has worked his ass off every single day, to the point to where we actually have things now. We can actually say that we worked for that and we got that thing. You cannot tell me that that $2,000 cannot change your life. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. $1,000 can change your life. $500 can change your life. The whole video, all these videos that you're making, just is number one dangerous, because you're spreading this analogy that anyone who is in a dark place and, you know, they're about to be living in their vehicle, you are spreading this narrative that it's impossible for them to get on their feet with $2,000. You're planning in their head, and you have to understand that what she is saying is correct. You know, there is a large portion of the homeless population that is addicted to drugs, that is in active addiction. And you're spreading this narrative to someone who is already giving themselves excuses why they cannot or why they will not get clean. You're now giving them another excuse that, okay, well, if you do get clean, and, you know, somehow someone in your family or your sponsor or someone in your life gives you 2 racks to get your life together, to get you a place, to get you a vehicle, etc., that's not going to be enough. That's not going to work for you. The narrative that you're spreading on your platform, where you do have a following, I think you have a little over 20K followers, that's super fucking dangerous. The narrative that you are sharing and spreading across your platform is super fucking dangerous. And as someone who is an advocate for people staying sober or getting sober, I consider myself very much so an addiction advocate. I will not stand by and let you continue to create these videos and to continue to push out this narrative, especially when I've seen someone who is following me post a TikTok today saying that it discouraged them, you know, that they thought, you know, $2,000 surely would help them, but now they're second guessing themselves. And I've been having private conversations with this person for a couple of months now. And that's the thing, when you're in active addiction, you will give yourself any type of excuse to continue to get high, because it's a lot easier to continue to get high than to put in the work to get sober. And now I see that you're actually starting to fuck with these people's minds. I reported your page. Yes, I did. Along with thousands of other people who have reported your page, but I reported it today, and I'm not that kind of bitch. I'm really not. But what you're sharing is super fucking dangerous. I don't stand beside it at all. And honestly, I think it would be a lot better for TikTok and the population in general if your page was removed. Sure, she can create another page, but my hope is that if this one gets taken down, maybe she'll come up with some other content, because the content that you were providing in the beginning was at least something that was not detrimental to society. Things are already fucked up. Yes, we know. All of us are struggling. I mean, you know, people all over are struggling. It's not only a specific group of people anymore. It's a fucking majority thing. But telling someone who is literally at rock bottom, living on the streets, who has been addicted to dope for over a decade, and telling them that if a miracle come upon them and they were to get $2,000 to change their life, and you tell them that that wouldn't be enough, can you think about what that's doing to them mentally? So yeah, I hope, Gabby, that you do see this video, and I hope this does change your mind in some stretch of some way. I really and truly hope it does. I love you guys. Stay kind, stay true, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.